Well, Coach, here we are on the verge of another season, and it seems like I guess they come quicker every year. But talk about y'all are about to go on your camp. Tradition y'all started a long time ago. Go up to Curry. How much fun is it to do something like that? What kind of a team bonding experience is that?
Oh, it's huge. It is. I mean, it goes back years ago, and of course, back before some of these state regulations came, we'd go there and 4 days, and have them so tired they couldn't walk to the bathroom. But it's that has kind of gone away, and now it's more of just a tradition. The guys go up, and it's kind of that milestone. Kind of exiting summer and entering the fun stuff. So it's always fun to watch those guys kind of create the attitude of the camp. And it's you seniors kind of start to realize what their role is, and it's just fun to watch. Every year is kind of a little bit different in its own, and I'm excited to see what this year holds.
Getting ready, for your third season here in charge. Talk about how things have changed just through those first couple years to now.
It is. It's tremendous. I mean, I think back. In fact, it seems like forever. It's hard to believe it's only been 3 years, but it's a lot of change has happened since then. I think primarily in the coaching category. I think even from Coach Shaw's last year, I'm the only guy left from when he was around. We've got some younger coaches that were community guys that have now come on board as full-time, but as a whole, I mean, it's pretty much an entire coaching changeover, which is good. I think I went from a kind of the middle-aged guy there for a while. Now sadly enough, I'm the oldest guy. So, but it's fun to get to know some new guys, and our kids have responded tremendously, and as far as getting to know them and then getting to know our players. So
you talk about some new guys. I mean, what have they brought? I mean, are y'all still the same program as you were? I mean, any sort of changes?
Well, it is. I mean, I think I told these new coaches when they came on board, I said, look, I don't. There's obviously going to be some things that's always going to be Flowery Branch. I mean, the traditions and some of the things that I'm comfortable with, but I also told them, said, look, just because that's something, there's certain things that we've always done, we also want new identities. I want them to bring their personality to the table, and we've done that, and it's been fun to see just some new quirks, some of the guys, and some new sayings, and just kind of how, they've got great ideas. By no means were we perfect, over the years. We were far from that, but we're just trying to, every year, just like any football team, whether it's, Georgia Tech, every year kind of takes on its new personality, and this is, now it's not just our players, it's our coaches as well, who've kind of brought a new flavor, and so it's fun. Our kids have done a great job responding.
Well, obviously, you talk about change. I mean, change is a constant in this sport, especially at the high school level. Y'all got a lot of changes in store this season. Especially I'm thinking offensively. Talk about the quarterback position, who's fighting for that, and some of the leadership roles that are kind of developing.
Right. We knew even a year ago when Jackson, knew he was going to be a senior, and we knew that somebody was going to have to take that role, and we had a couple, leaving last year, we had a couple of guys who we thought, and we've had one actually transfer, and but we feel real good. We had some questions there for a while, but we feel real good right now about how certain guys have progressed. Right now, it's Jason Johnson. He's a sophomore, incredible athlete, competitor, does little things right. But he just needs some experience. It's, whether you're playing middle school ball or freshman ball, or he played a little bit of JV and even played some varsity Friday night special teams last year. But he's a competitor. He wants to do things right, very coachable. But the biggest thing right now is he needs the reps, under the lights, and so it's going to be a little nerve-wracking for a lot of people going into those first few games, just kind of seeing how he's going to handle some of those situations. But I've leading up to what you can do during the summer, it's been very pleased and feel good about the direction that we're heading, as far as quarterback is concerned.
Talk about kind of what the cast that's going to surround him. I mean, who are some of the guys that you're expecting big things from?
It all offensively, it really builds off our offensive line. We've got several guys who have had a ton of experience that are coming back. Primarily our center, Joel Ryder. He's played a little bit as a freshman. Back in, I guess it was 2011, I guess, but seems forever. But he's probably tallied up thousands of reps, it seems like. I mean, he's so smart. I mean, he's a 4.2 GPA kid who just, you tell him one time and he's got it. He's kind of our coach on the field, even off the field. He's getting the guys together and making sure that they understand. But it builds off of him. We got Benoit Scroggs at offensive guard, Sterling Sykes at the other guard, Chewy Alvarado at tackle, and Clay Hamilton at the other tackle. So, we've got some guys who. All those guys have played on Friday night, so it's not that we're just, going in here with some question marks up front. We've got some other young guys who are going to be able to fill in as needed, but it really builds off that offensive line, and I've been incredibly pleased. And I don't know if this right word, but I feel comfortable knowing that we can do certain things just because our offensive line has a good feel of what's going on. And on the edge, that's probably another area of concern, just based on experience. We graduated every receiver we had last year. So coming in with guys that had limited experience, it's a little bit. We got some question marks, but some guys that stand out. First of all, our running back, Jeremiah Goss. He was a freshman last year and did some really nice things. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster. Even as a sophomore, he's a leader. He's probably one of those guys that when he decides to go, everybody else follows right behind him, and that's coming from a 10th grader. So we're expecting big things. Hayden Cooley, Kyle King, Cortez Davis. We got some other guys, Christian Bennett and Darian Wise. I can go on and on, but those are guys. They don't have a whole lot of Friday night reps, but they're capable of being some big play guys and are, understand what we're asking them to do. And it's just, we just got to get out there and get the reps. So thank goodness we get to go full pads today, and we can start getting a better feel.
Talk about, kind of vice on the other side, leadership-wise, who are some of the guys you're looking for on defense to kind of take the reins?
Defensively, kind of the same story. Obviously different other side of the ball, but we're up front with our line. We've got some guys that's got a ton of experience in our linebackers. The biggest one I think is our two inside backers, Cole Ford and Zach Smith. Both of them started last year. Cole was an all-region guy. So he's a tremendous player. He's kind of that bell cow as far as our playmaker. He calls our defense and gets everybody lined up right. And then he's our vocal guy, very physical. He actually is playing some tight end on offense, and Cole's actually playing some running back. But so we've got those two guys are kind of our bell cows. Up front, defensive line-wise, Desmond Osborne played defensive end. Jonah Mathis, T.J. Jackson. Those are kind of our, big guys up front that are going to be able to, hopefully protect our backers and, make plays. But they're, all those guys are seniors and are doing some good things. As far as in the secondary, probably the biggest guys we have, our free safeties back from last year, Cooper Harrison. And he's a guy that really can play a lot of positions, and so we've played him an outside linebacker, free safety. He could play some corner if we had to, but and then the other one is our started at corner last year is Cortez Davis. He's a junior, but Cortez is a guy that's probably not gonna come off the field much. He probably could kick if we ask him to, but he's gonna return kicks, play corner and safety and running back. He's our wildcat quarterback guy. I mean, he's he's a guy that can do a lot of special things, and so. But those are our big names. That's the guys that we're counting on to be playmakers, and so we'll see.
What obviously with change at several different positions. I mean, and you mentioned changing the coaching staff. I mean, can fans expect any sort of change in kind of how y'all attack defensively or offensively, or are you going to change much?
It's going to be very different. Let me reword that. It's going to look very similar to what some things we've done, but it's going to be, I'm actually surprisingly, I've been defense coordinator for years and years. I'm actually the offense coordinator this year. So, yes, it's going to be a challenge, but I've enjoyed it. Enjoyed the challenge of just kind of, you got to have a different mentality when you're on the other side of the ball. So it's been fun to do that, but it's we're going to do some things different offensively that's got a little flavor of what I believe in, but we're still going to be spread. We're going to be fast paced. We're going to be we're going to try to keep defenses on their toes. I think the change offensively is we'll use multiple formations. We're going to go with some tight end, which I don't know that we've used much tight end in years. So we'll have some, and that really goes to our personnel. I mean, just the guys that we've got. We feel like we've got some tight end type guys who can give us an advantage. And we've got a ton of guys who can play running back too. Some of those receivers that are a little bit bigger and like to run the ball downhill. So we'll utilize them as well. Defensively, we've got a new defense coordinator, David Wagner, is our new DC, and he's again, he's got his little flavor of how he wants to do things, and our guys have bought into it. He's a multiple front, multiple coverage guy. Likes to bring pressures from different places, and and then be able to disguise some coverages as well. So it's there was a little learning curve there going through the spring and early summer, but our kids have about the end of June and end of July, they just it started to click with some of them, and now they just they're running with it. So again, the next couple of weeks is going to be huge, and them just getting comfortable, getting ready for who we're going to play.
Obviously, Flowery Branch is, I guess everybody. This program has gotten to the point where everybody expects to win all the time. How tough is it to be in a position where people expect to win all the time, and yet you're in an extremely tough region. Every time you get in the playoffs, I mean, in 5A first round, you're going to face somebody good no matter who it is.
Right.
How tough is this position right now and where do you want to get to?
Yeah, it's tough. We've always had high expectations. Coach Shaw established that years ago, and our community has bought into that, and they love their football around here, from our little youth teams all the way to us and everybody in between. We just we believe in doing things the right way, and it's I don't know of another way to do it. Why you'd ever do anything and just be satisfied with anything less than your best is doesn't match up with me, and I think a lot of our guys, coaching wise and community wise, believe that. It is tough though, going as far as the how do you approach the season. You've got to still dealing with teenagers, still dealing with kids, and I have to remind myself that too, is that they're guilty of just expecting, if we were to just kind of go through the motions and, hey, this is what we did last year, so let's just go through those same little steps. My challenge as the head coach is to monitor that. Excuse me. Monitor those moments where I feel like they may be just expecting the same result, and you have to kind of keep them on their toes, and we try to put our guys in some adversity, at practice in our workouts to see how they respond when things get tough, because that's what's the difference between good teams and great teams is how they respond through those adverse times. And we've going back through the history of Flowery Branch, there's been a lot of times where we've won those battles, but there again, past few years, especially in the playoffs, we haven't responded real well. So that's kind of our motto this year. You know, that we're gonna be excellent in everything we do, whether it's on the field on Friday night, or if it's how we're working out in the weight room, or how we're acting in the locker room, how we're behaving in the classroom, and with our academics. I mean, A to Z, we preach all the time that if you'll be excellent in what you do and do things, the little things right, it takes care of itself. We don't have to get all tense and worry when it comes playoff time, because we've, in everything we've done up to that moment, we've fought through some adversity and done our best. So that's the approach, and our guys believe in that. And I'm telling you, this group this year is, we're not going to be the most athletic, but our kids show up and they go to work and they don't complain, and it's just that fun environment. It's a positive feel when you're around our guys. They love to work, and they're easily motivated, and so we're just ready to do it, under the lights.
Passes complete to number 8, Devontae King.